Hello everybody, welcome to episode 3 of the Joel Homie Show series, Swing Around Tuesday. Hey, you there! I want to remind everybody that if you end up liking this video, please consider subscribing. It's free, and you can always change your mind. And right now, YouTube says that over 90% of people that watch my videos aren't subscribed, so it would really help, and with that... Hello everybody, I'm Joel Homie, your guys' host for episode 3 of the new Joel Homie Show series, Swing Around Tuesday. Now, today's episode might be a little bit shorter than the last episode in this series, due to me having a little bit less to actually talk about. Not in the essence that I literally have less to talk about, but the topics don't require nearly as much talking as the last episode's topics did, based around the furry video that I had made, and it caused a lot of stuff that sort of boiled over in my personal life with my family and stuff like that. But today I don't have to talk about any of that because that is behind me now, and I'm very thankful for that. But thankfully, last week's videos, of which I'll talk about in just a moment, were actually quite interesting for me, because quite a couple of them was something that I've actually never done before, or things I actually just haven't done in a while. So the first things that I'll talk about quickly is actually, I don't have the script, so I don't remember if I'm actually talking about the right thing first, but first I'll just talk about some smaller things that happened with last week's videos. So as I said, last week's videos were sort of interesting for myself due to me actually filming a self-interview. Now, this was a school assignment for me personally. I've actually helped my best friend Joseph on some assignments that he has to do that are related back to filming, and due to me being sort of like his YouTube know-and-all sort of friend that knows how to edit and do all that stuff, he usually comes to me, and the agreement is that if I help him, I get to post it on my channel for content. Pretty cool agreement if you ask me. And, well, this one wasn't actually to help him with anything, but rather it was just an assignment that I had to do by myself, and I thought, hey, why not make this something that I could post to my channel, just to be a little sort of small, interesting thing. It didn't get a lot of attention, but that's fine. I had a lot of fun making it, and in the end, I think it turned out kind of nice. It was a self-interview. Obviously, I interviewed myself. I did 2 different recordings and had to cut them all together, and it was on the effects of COVID-19 and quarantine and just how it's affected me in general, and online schooling is actually strongly the topic of that as well. Due to it being a school assignment, online schooling was a large part of it. And then moving to actually a little bit further back in the week, I should have discussed this first before the sort of self-interview, but it was the most interesting thing to me, so I talked about it first. But the first video that came out last week was just a Sketchalicious Monday where I made a new little logo that is going to sort of replace the older one for Sketchalicious, not Sketchalicious, Autistic Tuesday. I'm sorry I keep on mixing up those two series, but the logo, I had put a lot of effort into that in the essence that it was very, very colorful, and it really catches your eye rather than the last thing that I did for Autistic Tuesday that was just pencil. It didn't have any color, it was simply just a sketch. And then after that we had a Swing Around Tuesday, which discussed the week before last videos, which were a lot more, well, exciting, I guess you could say, because, well, in my personal life, a lot of that stuff is not something my family is very aware with, so it flared up a lot of stuff, but that's behind me now, and I'm quite thankful now that I can actually focus on things without having to be stressed out over all of that. And then right after the self-interview video, I posted another Gaming Thursday revolving around Fallout 4 on how I actually use the Nuka World DLC to put streetlights in Sanctuary, which is a settlement in the Fallout 4 video game. And then last but definitely not least, we have the Friday review, which is where I reviewed LEGO Star Wars Set 75 269, the Duel on Mustafar. That's actually a word that I hadn't actually looked up because I don't know if I'm actually saying it right or not. But either way, that video actually did get some nice positive attention, and I actually had quite a couple different comments that were saying nice things about the video, so my thanks and gratitude go out to those people. And then, well, this isn't last week's videos, but the video for just yesterday that would have come out on Monday was simply a Sketchalicious Monday where I took a look at a bunch of my old art due to me actually having a lot of stuff going on with school right now that I actually had to do something easier for myself that didn't require as much time, because usually Sketchalicious Mondays or even Autistic Tuesdays usually take at a minimum of 5 hours to do all the filming, depending on how much detail I put into the drawing, obviously. and then editing and all that stuff, trying to find music and all kinds of things going to that. So I gave myself a little bit of a break just by simply taking a look at some old cringy artwork. And with that, going on to some personal things with me, obviously this is all sort of stuff that's behind me, but the entire fur situation had died down a little bit since last week, and it's not really anything that is catching my attention with my family anymore, so I'm very thankful that I can put that behind me, because it was definitely a stressful time for me in my personal life. Even while I didn't make it very clear here on the channel, I don't really express too much of my personal life outside of these types of videos, because chances are, if you're watching a review video, you want to hear about what I'm reviewing, and you don't want to hear a bunch of rambling about my personal life that doesn't matter, which is always the mindset that I've always been in when filming, which is why I try to make them very fast-paced and not ramble too much about my personal opinion on things. And then another thing that I actually did recently, I can't actually really show it because it's a massive box, but actually my RC car, the 1/12 scale Team Associated Tioga trail truck, I had actually just gotten a new gearing for that for the transmission and replaced the plastic ones with metal ones, which I mentioned that because I actually stripped out the gears a while back and couldn't actually use my RC car for probably a week or two, and now I'm actually able to use it again. But now it sounds like a very loud wind-up toy due to the metal gearing. It's a lot louder than having plastic gearing in the trans. But anyway, with that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. As I said, it's something that is a little bit less long, or it's a shorter video, because I didn't have nearly as much to talk about as last video of this series. But with all that being said, if you guys enjoyed today's video,